I am because we are. Umuntu, ngumuntu, ngabantu. I am because we are. Umuntu, ngumuntu, ngabantu.
Ubuntu is actually a spiritual and practical framework. It shapes not just how we think about being human, but how we experience it in real time. It is relational knowledge learned through participation, through shared life, and through recognizing that our well-being is intertwined with the well-being of others. There are no true winners or losers in the human story. When we diminish the dignity of others, the damage eventually reaches all of us. Welcome. If this is your first time around this neck of the woods, this is a space where we explore the deep roots of the ideas that quietly shape our lives. You know, the ones that influence how we believe, how we relate to one another, and how we make meaning of our lives. So be sure to stop by again, because spiritual conversations tend to unfold over time. Now, today, I want to spend a little time reflecting on a simple proverb that carries a surprisingly deep insight about what it means to be human. You may have heard it expressed in English like this: I am because we are. But the original expression comes from a Southern African proverb, Umuntu, ngumuntu, ngabantu. Literally translated, it means something like, a person is a person through other people. In other words, our humanity does not develop in isolation. It emerges in relationship. You become who you are through the presence, the care, the correction, the connection, and encouragement and recognition of others. Your identity is not something you manufacture alone. It is something that slowly takes shape within a web of relationships. This idea is closely connected to a philosophy often called Ubuntu. What's important to understand is that Ubuntu is more than just a philosophy. You see, a philosophy often lives in the head. It is a set of ideas that you can study, you can analyze and explain. You can memorize the definitions, quote the texts, and debate the principles even. But Ubuntu is something different. It is a lived wisdom. It is embodied in the way we interact with others. You know, the small decisions we make and the way we respond to both suffering and joy around us. Ubuntu is actually a spiritual and practical framework. It shapes not just how we think about being human, but how we experience it in real time. It is relational knowledge learned through participation, through shared life, and through recognizing that our well-being is intertwined with the well-being of others. In other words, it is a way of knowing with your heart, not just your mind. So, at its heart, Ubuntu simply highlights the fact that our lives are deeply interconnected. My well-being is tied to your well-being. My dignity is bound up with your dignity. See, if I harm you, something in our shared humanity is diminished. And if I help you flourish, something in my own humanity grows as well. Now, what's interesting is that Ubuntu is not only an African insight. In many ways, I think it's simply the African way of expressing a wisdom that appears across the spiritual traditions of the world. In the Christian tradition, Jesus, the Messiah, summarizes ethical life with a simple instruction: love your neighbor as yourself. And in the Hindu tradition, an ancient phrase from the Maha Upanishad declares that the whole world is one family. And in Confucian tradition, the philosopher Confucius taught a similar principle. He said, do not impose on others what you do not wish for yourself. See, these are different cultures, even different languages, but a remarkably similar insight about the nature of human life. And when you step back and look at the proverb, I am because we are, in the light of that wider wisdom, something becomes clear. Being human has never been a solo project. In the deepest sense, there are no true winners or losers in the human story. When we diminish the dignity of others, the damage eventually reaches all of us. And when we honor the lives of others and help one another flourish, the benefits ripple outward in ways that strengthen the whole human community. See, because in the end, the tide of our shared humanity has to rise for all of us. If it lifts every boat, we move forward together. If it does not, sooner or later we all feel the pull of the same waters. Now, in the extended reflection on Patreon, I explore this proverb much more deeply, including the spiritual roots of Ubuntu, how community shaped human identity across cultures, and why this ancient wisdom might be especially important in our time. If you would like to continue this conversation there, you'll find the link in the description below. And as always, thank you for being here, because learning what it means to be human together still matters.
I am because we are. I am because we are. Somewhere inside your story, your breath and mine, learning how to belong. We rise or fall together in quiet ways unseen.